Hi, I'm Grungean, and this is a course in crashing through history. Today we'll be discussing, hold up,
the Mongols.
While the Mongol Empire may have gotten its start with Genghis Khan, they actually started out as clans of pastoral nomads living in the Eurasian steppe, just north of the Gobi Desert in East Asia.
The clans emphasized horseback riding, and they highly valued courage and hunting and warfare. This naturally led them to becoming very skillful in
the art of archery, which was very useful later on when that whole conquering thing happened.
These tribes were disunified and were surrounded by many larger and more powerful tribes such as the Tartars, Jurchens, and Naimans.
Hey Stan, is this shot adequately globed?
This is so much better.
But there was one thing that changed us all: the birth of a little tiny baby boy. He unified the tribes and made an empire. We all know his name. His name was
Temujin.
Temujin, born to a father, Yusuke, and to his abducted mother, Olun, was named after the fallen foe of his father. As a kid, he was an outcast and very shy. I guess you could call him Timid-jin.
He was even afraid of dogs as a little boy.
After turning 8, his father took him to a nearby family where he could be betrothed to his future wife, Borte, or Bort! There he could work to earn his keep.
Yusuke was poisoned by a clan he had previously fought, and Temujin was rushed home.
Temujin's father died. He and his family were abandoned by their clan, had their horses stolen, and were left without a home.
After a feud with his eldest brother over dominance in the family, Temujin then killed him and proclaimed,
"Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now."
He proved his military might by fighting off kidnappers who attempted to attack his wife.
Bort!
He also increased his status by marrying off his eldest son to a nearby daughter of a Khan, meaning king.
Temujin was voted in by the chieftains of the tribes to become leader of the Mongols. He declared himself ruler of all, better known as Genghis.
Now let's throw it to the thought bubble for a closer look at his empire.
Due to a warming climate, the Mongols' homeland was no longer inhabitable, forcing them to expand outwards in search of new resources.
With the aid of horses, which the Mongols could eat on, shoot from, and even sleep on, they became a feared army and were able to conquer 11 million square miles in one lifetime, more than the Romans could in centuries.
The Mongols became the largest contiguous empire in history, and one of the largest empires in history, period, the second only to the British.
Thanks, thought bubble. Genghis Khan was able to accomplish this in part due to his doctrine of meritocracy.
The practice of rewarding people based on their skills and achievements instead of their family ties.
He also granted citizenship to people of lower class in the lands that he conquered, and he stripped the wealthy of their land and possessions. This made him loved by the common man and hated by the aristocracy.
The Mongols were also infamous for their brutality. There are many cases in which cities would surrender before a battle had even begun in order to try and avoid being debowed.
City.
Oh, company. I wonder who it could be.
Bar. We're the Mongols.
Holy.
Dude, honestly, I didn't even like this house. You can take it, dude. Okay, look, listen. My cars are in the garage. Here's my wallet, dude. My phone. I don't need any of that stuff. Please take it.
That's not it though. He was expanding his lineage as fast as he was expanding his empire. Scootily pooping doesn't even begin to describe it. The man was a machine.
Ooh, Mr. Gene. If he was a machine, how did he have the physiological capabilities to make babies?
Oh, past me. I can't even begin to describe the things I hate about you. But I'll start with your inability to allow metaphorical language for the sake of example, at the expense of every single word being used in a definitively correct manner.
Oh, would you look at that? It's time for the open letter.
Now, an open letter to Genghis Khan.
But first, let's see what's in the secret compartment. How did you get in here?
Ah, dark chocolate. A common aphrodisiac. Why is this our secret compartment? Because Genghis Khan made a lot of love back in his day.
Dear Genghis Khan, you forcefully scootily pooped with so many women that today, 1 in 200, or 16 million men, are your direct descendants.
60,000 women chose suicide over being raped by you or your people.
You raped so many women, even Brett Kavanaugh would consider you and your people a basket of deplorables.
Trade along the Silk Road, which had all but ceased, flourished under the Mongol Empire, more than it had at any other point in history.
The Mongols wanted to reinvigorate trade because it could be taxed. As part of their policy, they would give out passport-like plaques, called paisas, to government officials and envoys, which allowed them safe passage through the empire and gave them jurisdiction over civilians.
The Mongols created and maintained a courier system called the Yam Route that was very similar in nature to the Pony Express. It had caravanserai-like stations in which a courier could obtain a fresh horse, get food, and rest.
However, this trade did have drawbacks, such as the diffusion of disease along the Silk Road, most notably in the form of the bubonic plague, which became the Black Death and killed 1/3 of the European population during the 14th century.
There's even one story of a Mongol Khan who intentionally spread the disease. His name was
Janie Beg.
During a siege on Kaffa, the city's defenses wouldn't budge, but after several of Janie's men died of the plague, he had an idea.
Ahra! Janie Beg catapulted several plague-infected cadavers over the walls of Kaffa. This was the first recorded instance of biological warfare.
The Mongol Empire existed during the 13th and 14th centuries. It had a good run, but after the death of Genghis Khan, it split into 4 smaller states.
This was very similar to the fate of the Greco-Macedonian Empire after the death of Alexander the Great.
These empires included the Empire of Kublai Khan, the Empire of Chagatai, the Empire of the Ilkhans, and the Empire of the Golden Horde, which became what we know today as Russia.
While the Mongols may have been barbaric, and while they may be responsible for spreading some of the deadliest diseases in human history, as an empire, they were fairly religiously tolerant, and they were instrumental in bridging trade between the East and the West, and shaping the socio-political geography of Asia today.